Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be building a new ants nest. Here you can see it on the website, only £45, formiLAB Nano ants nest starter kit, and this is from AntsHQ over in the UK. Now first of all, this is not a paid video or anything. It's something that I've bought off the back of doing some of my own research, but this is everything you get in the kit. As you can see, there is quite a lot, so we're going to go through that now. First of all, obviously, here's the manual. You can see the AntsHQ symbol up there, and that is the that contains instructions on how to build it. Let's open all this and have a look, see what we get. So, first of all, we've got a syringe, which is obviously good for hydrating the nest and things like that. Quite difficult to get out. So here is a little feeding tray that you put inside the overworld, and you can put stuff in either side, which is really good because it means it's a lot easier to clean. Now this is actually for putting water in the sponge bit, which I'll show you a little bit later. It took me a little while to figure out what it's actually for, but yeah, that's what that's for. We've got a protein gel come with it, which is nice, and a water dispenser or some sort of liquid dispenser. Obviously you can put something different in there if you want, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It just unscrews like that. You fill it in, and then you screw that on top of there. You can see where the ants can gain access to the liquid inside. I don't know if it's water, would it just run out? Maybe it does need to be a bit thicker, maybe some sugar water or something like that. So over in here, so this is the anti-climb solution that you can put around to stop your ants climbing up. Here is basically some sugar or honey water. Obviously the ants should hopefully love, and they would thrive. Quite a lot in there as well, which is quite nice. So we just screw that up, and you got the cap there to administer it. Yeah, so you could potentially go in there. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments though. Right, so we've got 3 more protein gels. That's 4 in total, which is really cool. Here is the main nest part. So you can see it's already built. It's all 3D printed. It's already built with its own caverns and stuff like that. It's fairly good quality. It's not brilliant for 3D printing, but it's good for what it's for. So there's the cover that you put on there, and you obviously screw that in, and then there is the red cover to give them some privacy, because I believe they can't see through red, or light doesn't go through it very well. Here's the sponge that I mentioned earlier. You can see it just slots in there, and you basically dampen that to one, give them access to some water, and also it will hydrate the nest as well. You see the tiny little hole that you put on the cover for the sponge. That's where you put the water through. There is mesh on the other side, but I'm sure they can still gain access to some of the water that might soak through the mesh, but it's mainly for as I said, humidity. You actually get all this with the set as well, which was quite surprising. So you've got here something that gives you the temperature and the humidity. You've got a cover on top there, and then that attaches to the bottom of the nest. It does just slide in, and then there are some screws. There you go. It's kind of like that, and you can see the screws will go in there to actually hold it in place. And again, that's separated by a bit of mesh. But I mean, if you wanted to make the nest a little bit bigger, you could probably take that mesh out and keep the cover on. Take that little thermometer thing out. But yeah, here's all the screws and stuff. You can see there's lots of places to put the bolts and everything, and there's feet that you have to attach. Here's the first attachment. You can see it goes down because the nest would be raised a little bit. So the connector would screw into there. You'd place that in there, and then you should be able to then attach it to something else, depending on what you get from them. Now, with this set, you actually get an entire outworld, which is quite nice. And you'll see, here's the instructions here in a little bit more detail on how to build the outworld. Looks pretty good here. Instructions look really good. I've built ones where there was no instructions at all. So yeah, happy that this came. Now this took me maybe half hour to build. something like that. It's not too fiddly at all. I've not attached any of it just yet, so I'm just going to show you the outworld first, the cube. All really well secure. It feels really secure with the screws all in. You can see there's a lid that you can just lift up at the top. Now the actual lid doesn't seem to screw up very well, so that's a little bit annoying, but it doesn't really affect anything. I tried to tighten it, but it just wasn't having any of it, but it does still sit on top fine. And you can see all of that is attached, and it is quite secure, which is really good. You obviously screw the sponge in there, so that's all attached as well. And you can see these, they literally just slot in like that, so it's really easy. You can see I've put the legs on the nest as well now, so it does sit up a little bit, which is why that first connector slopes down a bit there. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with it. What I'm probably going to do is, I do still have some of the other connectors. You can actually see the logo there, AntsHQ, which is quite a nice touch. And you can clearly see through the plastic to look at the temperature and the humidity. So obviously here's the feeder dish, which you can obviously insert in there. It's a little bit tight for my hands, but you can get it in there. Now, one thing I did want to ask is, do you reckon should I put some substrate in the outbox? Maybe a little bit of sand. Maybe pop it down in the comments down below. I know you're not meant to put loads in, because then it'll encourage them to dig and make more nests, but maybe just a thin layer of sand. Would that be all right? Let me know. Now, this is another part that I previously got. That connector there, I'm actually going to take off and attach it to there. And that is where I'm going to attach the test tube for my new harvester ants, which I've got, which I'll show off in another video. And then hopefully they'll move in. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. And also, please like and subscribe to the channel, as it all helps. Thanks again. And yeah, also stay tuned, because I'm going to be having, as I said earlier, some harvester ants moving in here, which I'm quite excited about. So yeah, stay tuned and hopefully see you in the next one.